Oh, wow, that was the quickest it ever went live.
Man, it went quick live.
That's
Quick.
very quick.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Anthony and Alex. The only people I know in here other than Charles and myself. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing fine.
Right, Alec, to the end, aren't you? Oh, Cade's in the house. It says, hey, hey. Welcome to our show this evening.
How's it going, Alex and Cade? Or
Easy.
Susie? Yeah, sorry.
Susie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember? Shoot, we had that a couple live streams ago.
I'm terrible with names. Okay, so Cade is Susie. Gotcha. Hey, Russ. Hey, Raymond. Hey, what's up? Or at work, but I'll be back. Go for it.
So, Russ, have you completed your backyard yet?
Well, his wifey put out that video with that huge root this
Right.
afternoon. I have a walnut tree in my backyard, and a root has gone across the backyard, under the sidewalk, over up against the garage, and it comes up between the garage and the backside of my garden. And last year we dug down, no, 2 years ago, we dug down um, about 2.5 feet and cut it off, buried it back in. Last year it came back again.
I had this root. There's like a little hill in the back of my yard, and there was a root that would stick out, and it was just big enough that if I ran over it with the lawnmower on level 3, it would just, the mower blade would hit it, and the whole thing would stall out. So I got the bright idea. I'm like, grabbed a shovel, started digging out, and I dug a fire pit. And I was like, I'm just going to burn that root out of there because I like making fires and stuff. So I did that. I made a fire for like 2 years there before I finally burned all the way through it. That thing was about that big around, though. I mean, it was huge. I thought it was just, I mean, it was just this big on the top of the surface. And I thought, oh, it's just going to be a little tiny root, but nope.
So, Alex, did you buy out a grow house or a grow warehouse? Is that what you did?
Yeah, yesterday I bought 45 used 1,000-watt grow lights for $80. Wow. Russ says, yard done, pavers no. Well, yeah, you got to put sod down within a certain amount of time, so it's good to have the sod down.
That's true.
2 pallets of 1,000-watt grow lights. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, equipment auction now.
Ah, okay. And let's see. Russ says, haha, hell yeah, Rev. Susie says, that sounds amazing. So what are you going to do with them? Sell them off? And how big are they?
Or are you just going to use them all?
Well, I guess the other question is, what kind are they? Are they HPS? Or, I mean, what type of grow lights are they?
Just think, if you had all 45 of them on, that'd be 45,000 watts of. Yeah, that would be pretty much blinding, I would think, depending on the room.
That's 375 amps. That's more than my power panel will pull. It's 8.3 amps per.
Yeah, because it's a 220 line leading into my house.
Yeah, I got a 220 line and 200 amp breaker, so I can't even support all of them.
Okay, so the metal halide.
Thought of giving some away if people want to pay shipping. Susie says, I already went a tad overboard. Sorry. Power source, 1,000-watt metal hydride. Okay. I don't know how big those are, but.
Imagine probably.
That's what the
30 by 20, probably.
Isn't that what the cannabis growers use? Those ones that are like this
well, then HPS. I mean, there's a lot of them going to LED now too, but a lot of them use HPS, high pressure sodium. I mean, that, like I said, that would be a big warehouse. If you're that's a better the whole house. I mean, they do that. They bust a lot of our houses around here sometimes.
Actually.
Trying to see if I can find an image of one.
They just put up a link.
Yeah, because if they were running off a 240, they'd only pull 4.16 amps. And then if you had all of them running, that would only be 187.5 amps. So if you had a warehouse with a 200 amp service, you could make that work.
Yeah.
Quick on the math. Well, quick on the math with the calculator.
That's still a good deal, though. I mean, because even if you pay 90, I mean, that's like $2 a lamp. If you just sold it for $2 to make your money back, a grow light. So I mean, hell, if you sell it for 20, I mean, even 20, it's good profit.
I love electricity, Susie. I love doing those conversions. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, which everybody should, but if you didn't know, watts is just volts times amps. So if you're running on 120 and 100,000 or 100,000 watt light, divide that by 120, and that'll give you your amps that'll be putting out. Some of my favorite calculations.
Let's see. Okay. There were 90 in total, but I couldn't afford the other pallets. Oh. They were wired 227 or 277 volts. Better math than me, even with a calculator. Yeah, Susie says, thanks for the info. I'm still a newbie.
Well, I'm an electrical junkie. I love working with electricity. Higher the voltage, the better.
I tend to stay away from it other than vehicles. I got shocked by a ceiling fan one time that sent me off. I was standing on a chair hooking it up, shocked me, and I went across the kitchen and it knocked me out for about 2 minutes. I'm really nervous about electricity when it comes to messing with the wires.
That's funny.
Now, mind you, that was nothing. Huh?
I've been shocked by 110 over 1,000 times. I just get like a really huge buzz off of it, and it's a pun, but no, I really do. Like that electrical surge goes through you, and all of a sudden you feel like you're on speed or something. You're shaking, you can't stop shaking. I'm sure I've told this story a million times. I was working on a light for a pool, like above a pool, not a light in the pool. And I was working on it. It was a bad switch, and I was testing it. I shocked myself like 4 or 5 times. This guy finally comes out and see what I'm doing, because when people are on vacation, they love to watch people work. And he comes out, and I'm sitting there, and my hands are all shaking. He's like, "Oh man, I had a few too many last night, huh?" I'm like, no, just shocked myself like 8 times. No big deal.
Yeah.
But no, when you said I got shocked by a ceiling fan, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could count up how many times I got shocked by a ceiling fan. The funniest story I've ever had was we flipped the breaker for a ceiling fan so we could work on them. And my buddy was up, and we had by the way, cool trick. If you have a fiberglass ladder, you don't have to worry about getting shocked when you're working on something up in the air, because fiberglass doesn't ground you, so the electricity can't go through you. The only way you can get shocked is if you touch both wires with your hands, then it'll go through you. But he was on an aluminum ladder, and he was up there working on it, working on it. Like, man, there's something weird with this thing. I'm like, what? First off, the dimmer switch was installed upside down, so we thought we had it turned off and the breaker off. Well, it was the wrong breaker that we turned off because someone switched the breaker panel, the panels themselves. They took both of them off and put them on the wrong things, and then turned out we still had electricity on, but it was like because of the dimmer, it was like putting out like 25 volts. So he's up there getting shocked with 25 volts, going, man, it's like feels weird while I'm doing this. I went up with my tester. I'm like, oh yeah, you got electricity there, man. Then he kept accusing me of doing that on purpose. I was like, look, I didn't, but I will definitely take that status because that's something we would do to each other back in the day.
Right.
Like, get yourself a fiberglass ladder.
So I found out how big a 3 hour and 22-minute live stream is after you render it to go onto YouTube. Take a wild guess on how big that file is.
It's 1.2 gigs.
No, a 20-minute episode is about 1.2 gigs.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott. Welcome back. 21.7 gigabytes. I was thinking, after I got done with the stream last night, I thought, well, I'll render this out and see how big it is. Maybe I'll upload it to YouTube. No, I'm not going to upload a 21 gig file to YouTube.
I would. You already have the hard part down. You already rendered it.
Yeah, and that took better than 6 hours to do because my computer decided to do an update last night.
Well,
and it started.
To get it up on YouTube, that's probably only going to take like an hour, hour and a half. It only takes me like 10 minutes to get a 20-minute video up.
Yeah, but the computer upstairs is running through a 10100 switch instead of a whatever gigahertz. So it goes relatively slow. It takes me about half an hour to upload a 30-minute video.
Whoa. Dang, mine's like a third of the time. So if it's like 30 minutes, it'll take me like 10 minutes to upload.
Yeah, the computer restarted at 3:30 this morning, and I heard it beep, and that woke me up, and then I hear the startup music and lock out, and sure enough, it ruined it. So I had to start over, but after an hour's time, it was 21% done, so it was about 5 hours that it took it to render it. That's neither here nor there. If somebody wants to watch it, it's on Twitch.
Okay.
So I haven't seen BD yet.
He's planting. He's planting seeds.
BD is BD Beats.
Yes.
Oh, so he's not listening to us.
He said he's trying to do a bunch of stuff before the live stream. That's what he told me about an hour or two ago.
Okay. Cool.
I was just saying hey to Scott. I didn't say hello to Scott.
What's up, Scott?
Then I saw Anthony post a lot of his little packs of goodies from a lot of people. That was cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that right when you said that. You got your package, Dave's package, and Scott's package.
And so he's just waiting, I guess, on Jay's, Rob's, Brando's and Nick's.
And Blumberg.
That's what he was talking about.
Oh, at Rob.
But then you I don't know when Susan's gonna give me the Lakotas. So whenever she sends those, that should be pretty cool. 'Cause I like the way that she does that. I know she sent them out. She sent out plants before. What she does is pretty neat.
And the ahi tangerine.
Yeah, tangerine. Yeah.
Susie says, BD got me a deal on lights. Yeah, me too. I got 4 UFO LED lights for half cost or half price. I thought that was cool. It's strange. I can pull up in my driveway and I can see in through the French doors. And right there is the dining room. And then on the other side is the living room. And my little girl thing's in there. And I've got Mylar hanging all the way around it. And one little flap just hangs open just a little bit. Looks like a purple lightsaber coming down.
No, yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, that's what I like about mine. You go in there, and like I said, I keep the top vents open for the where you would put like exhaust fans or any kind of ducting or what have you. You just see that little beam, kind of looks like something out of Star Wars or something, just like that floating into wherever it's deep space, and they have all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
The only thing that worries me is I've seen so many different people that got raided over that. Like, oh, I saw grow lights in the bathroom, and like growingyourgreens.com, John Kohler, that guy got raided.
Yep.
He told that story once. It was all because he had him in his bathroom. The neighbors called the cops on him. Well, he didn't get raided. I'm sorry. They came to the door while he was out of town, and his roommate was like, "Yeah, you can come on in. I don't care." They came in thinking they were gonna have a bust. They found like some I think it was Malabar spinach or no, it was what the heck's that one thing he loves to grow? Maybe it was just dinosaur kale. I can't remember. It was something innocent.
Loves that.
Yeah, perfectly innocent plant. But that's why I have mine in front of the doors. I don't try to hide it. You can walk right up to the front window of the house and look through, and you can see through the mylar that there's plants in there, but not the right color. And Susie says, I know I'm a noob, but I love my little grow room. That's cool.
Yep.
OMG, Rev. Haha. I live in Winnipeg, and I'm pretty sure every other house is a grow up. So they're not very hard ass here. Oh, yeah, and I hear all of Canada is going legal as far as that goes. From what, July 1st, I think it is?
Pretty quick.
Sometime soon.
Paula's in the house, says, hey guys, I've been busy this evening. Got the rest of my peppers repotted into solo cups, or party cups, and added rocks to all the hot pepper cups. Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I know I had that fun the other day. You see my excitement, the way I'm expressing it.
Paula says, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted a few stories of my peppers a little while ago. I don't have Instagram.
Yeah, I don't either.
Susie says September now. Oh, so they moved it back a couple months? Okay.
Well, that'll give them time to buy all this light. I think Alex is in Canada, correct? You just bought the pallets of lights. Is that correct or no?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think he is.
So there you go. You get till September. You get one heck of a deal on some grow lights.
Or sell them in September.
Yeah.
What? You can have a grow operation? I got the lights for you.
Yeah.
He says, good old Trudeau.
My favorite stories was, I believe it was a couple, but 2 people that worked for the CIA, and they retired, and they decided to grow tomatoes in their basement. They got raided. And the cops came in and found out they're growing like tomatoes and peppers and like some peas or something like that. Like no weed at all. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, a friend of mine that used to be on the drug task force, and this house got sold, and new people moved into it. Get a call from the utility company saying there's something strange going on in this house. The energy consumption is better than twice what it's been for the last 10 years. So they went over and knocked on the door, and older gentleman answers the door, and he says, "Oh yeah, come in and look." You know, invited him downstairs, and the entire basement was an entire vegetable garden grow room.
Yeah,
They
the
had,
by the way, the electric company gets kickbacks from the government to report that stuff.
yep, yeah. So she said we had egg on our face, up one side and down the other, and apologetic, and we're never going back to that house again. But yeah,
Yeah. And
That's
by the
old,
way,
old
in the
retired
last
couple.
well, I moved into this place with my sister, and then her boyfriend moved in, and our power level was at X amount, we'll call it. Those two moved out, and I was here by myself. My power doubled, and I didn't add anything. I put my hot water heater on a timer. I only keep on one light unless I'm on a live stream. I'm like very frugal with that. I keep my heat extra low, and still somehow my power consumption doubled.
Hmm.
And it started with I lost a neutral. So between the main power box in the yard and the meter on the side of the house, in the yard, I lost a neutral, so I was getting erratic voltage.
Yeah.
Ever since that day that we got it fixed, it's just stayed like crazy high.
Weird.
Yep.
They never came back and checked it or looked at
No,
it.
I checked it myself. I found the broken neutral.
Okay.
And I called them and said, and I told them that I had a broken neutral, and they're like, "Well, how do you know?" I'm like, "Well, I went from ground to one leg, and I was getting 87 volts, and I went ground to the other leg, and I was getting like 187 volts. When you go across both of them, you get 240." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's a broken neutral." I wanted to be all smart, like I figured that out, but I was working for an electrician at the time, and I'm like, "Dude, this is what I have going on." He's like, "Oh, you got a broken neutral." I was like, "Oh, okay." I felt like I was all smart and stuff. They thought I was, but in my heart, I know I wasn't.
I don't know what. Okay. Paul says, "Oh, and I just recorded a Narrow Garden update. I need to edit and post it tonight." Cool. Uh, Ever
Yeah,
since I've seen so many of these arrow gardens going, kind of makes me want one.
Oh, I'm the same way. But then I also look at it and I started doing like, that's one DIY project I wouldn't mind doing. Because I've seen them, they use like sprinkler heads or whatever on the bottom of a big tote and go and spray. And I don't know, it looks kind of interesting on how some of them do their DIYs.
that's the one thing. The more I see of them, the less I want one. When I first saw them, I'm like, "Oh, that's a great idea." And now, like, everybody has them. Like, I know JT was like, "I really want one." He even did a video all about, like, should he
Yeah.
make his own? Should he buy one? And I don't know. All that just made me just say, "Nope, I'm not buying one of those things. I'm just going to make one." But again, I'm cheap. Dave calls it frugal, but we all know what it is.
Thrifty.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
up, Rob?
you call it whatever you want. It's cheap.
Other Rob is in the house. Says, "What's up, everyone?" I call it thrifty. I'm not cheap. I'm thrifty.
I don't beat around the bush. I'm cheap. I was this close to buying a new car a couple times, a brand new car. I hit a point. I don't think there ever will be a point in my life where I actually buy a brand new car. I've never bought one before, and I don't think I ever will. I think I'll always buy used.
I bought two, my last two.
I get it if you Well, I get it in many different ways, but especially if like you don't know how to work on a car or something like that, and you want that warranty at the beginning, and like that's great. But by the time I get it, that
Nobody knows how to work on a modern car.
they're not that hard. It's just a lot more sensors and stuff.
Man, it's too much crap. You can't even get to half the stuff.
You should watch the guy on South Main Auto. It's a channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
He works on modern cars. He shows you like waveforms and all kind of stuff, man. It's very interesting. Ever since I started watching him, my confidence has built up a lot. He's always like double checking himself, like, okay, according to everything that we've done so far, it should be this sensor. But before we replace that sensor, we're going to go ahead and make sure that it's it. And then he goes and double checks it. And, yep, definitely bad sensor. Because he, and this is totally me, but he doesn't like to be what the heck does he call it? A parts thrower, I think he calls it. Someone that just throws parts at a problem. Like, I think that's my knock sensor. So you go buy a new knock sensor, put it in, and it's still doing the same thing. Like, maybe that's my camshaft position sensor. You go buy that, put it in. Yeah, he doesn't like to do that, but that's totally me. I'm like, no way, man. It's still way cheaper than going to well, never go to the dealership, but it's way cheaper than going to a garage. Yeah.
Hey,
And he also always tells people that even though it's new, doesn't mean it's good, which is also a very good lesson because I've had bad brand new parts.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Well, like Susie says, they don't make them like they used to.
No.
And says, I'm a manager at a body shop, laughing out loud. And Mr. Mark is in the house. Welcome, Mark. Rev is cheap as, but it works for him.
Oh, yeah. Well, it has to work.
I mean, as far as like new cars and stuff, there's a lot of new cars. I mean, they're coming out with all kinds of stuff lately. And it just kind of, if you're a car person, it's kind of neat to look and see what they're coming up with. So, I mean, me personally, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm one on that bandwagon. I want to get in one of those Kia Stinger GTs. I mean, really bad. Because, I mean, that thing looks awesome as far as how people have been test driving them, the power, the torque, everything else. Hell yeah, but would I pay $50,000 for a Kia? Hell no.
$50,000, that's a brand new Dodge Ram.
Well, when I buy a Dodge, the last time they started on that.
I love Dodge. I don't have a brand. I like whatever is in my driveway that starts up every time, personally. I don't get into like, no Chevy, no Ford, no Dodge. No, whatever I've got. Currently, my last two have been Dodge, and they've done me really well. One took me to Oklahoma and back, and one took me to Colorado and back. Oh, and then I rode another one, someone else's, Colorado and back.
I take that back. I would go for Rob's and above. What Rob has and above, I would drive a Dodge.
Hellcat, man.
Well, I know I've been in that. I haven't been in the Demon yet, but I've been in the Hellcat several times. But you know, Rob's, you know, any kind of, you know, where Rob's level is and above on the Challenger, that's good.
I've never been in a Challenger or the modern Challengers or was a Charger. I like them both. Well, actually, I kind of don't like the Charger as much as the Charger. Yeah. Challenger as much as the Charger. I don't know what it is. I should like the two-door better than the four. I don't know. I think I fell in love with the Charger first.
Well, Adam from the videos just bought newer Charger SRT 8 or SRT, but it's got the 5.7 Hemi in it, and he's been having some fun with it.
That's the same engine I got.
Yeah. He wants to race me.
Okay.
Don't you have a 6.2?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's put money down on this race too.
The other thing is the Trackhawk. Anybody who pays $100,000 for a Trackhawk is retarded. I'm just saying, getting that out there. If you pay $100,000 for a Hellcat engine in an SUV, there's something wrong with you.
Jared's in the house. Derek's in the house. Sorry.
And the Tesla will beat it flat off the line. The Tesla SUV, electric, smoke that track car. Because I watched many races already with it. And Susie, yes, I've seen the Supra. Nope, they ruined it. And plus, they're putting a BMW engine in it or something. So there's no 2J7. So no, I'm not even thinking about that car. The old ones are fine, but you just got to find one that somebody hasn't ragged out. And then, of course, on the Supra is freaking Fast and the Furious running that car because everybody wanted to go buy them.
That's like that Skyline, that Nissan Skyline. You can't even have one unless they're 25 years old. It's some weird embargo that we've got with Japan. Right. So like now they're just starting to come out, but you go and find them, they're 25 years old and they're still like 20 grand.
Yep. Well, a Supra will still cost you anywhere from 40 to 50,000 bucks, and it's a 96. And it costs 57 to 62, 96. It only lost maybe 10,000 bucks at the max, and since 96. It's the highest retained value on a car ever. And it's one of the fastest cars I've ever been in. Been 186 now.
Except maybe that, what was that one in Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor? 69 Mustang fastback.
It's a fastback again. But I mean,
but wouldn't a restored Mach 1 be worth more than just a fastback?
I don't know that they did a hell of a job on the new Bullet that they're coming out with Ford, because that looks really close to that same kind of theme as in the Bullet movie. So, I don't know. Hey, Derek, how's it going?
Apparently not good. He says, man, you guys already had bad luck with my plants. Caught it in time, but still did a little damage. But my light fell down on top of my plants for a bit and burned a couple.
What kind? What kind of light?
Right.
Is that just fluorescent?
Was it a strip light?
Yeah. If I remember correctly from one of the live streams, I thought it was like a 4-foot shop light.
Yeah.
Fluorescent. That's how I remember how to spell it. It's Fluorescent.
Fluorescent strip. Mm-hmm. How do you have it with it? Do you have it with a chain or what? I use the yo-yos, just like I use on all my grow lights, and they hold up that thing fine.
I made a PVC stand.
Oh, I have that as well, but I have the yo-yos ratchets to go up and down so I can change the light.
I just have mine on the chains they came with, and then I got like baling wire. I just wrapped it at the top of it and like twisted it around a bunch of times and then let it hang down, and I put it through the very top of the chain, and then as I need to, you just kind of like fold it up and it holds it there forever. And you need it up a little bit, you just kind of move the chain up a little bit, fold it up again. And if you really want to be secure, just give it a nice wrap around there. Works good.
Yeah. I mean, the plants, they're pretty strong, so you can bounce back on it for a lot of stuff. You can do a lot of stuff to them. I mean, I don't know how bad it is.
Apparently, it was an inexpensive grow light from one of the box stores. Well, people can see it, so it says Walmart grow light.
Is Walmart considered a box store?
We consider that a box store.
I always thought like hardware stores were box stores. I guess a box store is anywhere you can get anything in a box, huh?
That's how I look at it. I think of a box store as a big name store.
Just because most of them had like a square in the label. Like Home Depot has that square and Lowe's has a square, and that's why I always thought they were like hardware stores.
Menards doesn't.
I don't know. I just thought of like you can buy things in boxes like just a second ago. Yeah, sometimes there's things I don't really look into, and I just take them at face value or at whatever value I hear them at.
Well, he says it. Derek says could have been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that I was going to say the same thing. If it was a more mature plant and then it crashed and just poured up, like say a 6 to 8 inch plant, I think that'd be way worse as far as how I'd be feeling.
Oh, like the Chris's hot garden. His last video came down and one of his ground cherries was broken at the stem right above the net cup.
Yeah.
Have a plant that big go for almost no reason is hard.
Well, look at a Gage. Gage lost one of his mature plants. He had an arrow guard that snapped. He said apparently you can't keep a mature plant of a good size in an arrow guard. It snapped at the base.
Ew.
Yeah, he posted a picture of it.
Haven't seen it as yet. Ah, but spring is almost here.
This is true.
According to the calendar at the water department, it's in 6 days. According to me, it's in 7. I always do the 21st. 21st of March, 21st of June, 21st September, and 21st of December. Those are my solstices.
Yep. So a little less than a month. I need to get the plants out.
It says big box store equals a huge box shaped building. Okay.
That makes even more sense.
So he says, according to mine, it's 10 weeks. Other Rob is laughing out loud.
Not spring as in like when it's going to be nice out, just spring in general. I mean, well, not spring in general, the spring solstice is what I'm talking about. Yay. Can't wait. That's my favorite solstice. The spring solstice and then the summer solstice. And then after that, I can hold off as long as you need.
Jared says he agrees with you on the solstice dates. Ah,
Yeah, well, I base it off of like December 21st because that's the spring solstice or the winter solstice.
shortest night of the or longest night of the year.
Yep, shortest day of the year.
Yep.
The exact opposite of June 21st, which is the longest day of the year, shortest night.
Other Rob says that is rough, Susie. I already am losing my mind, and it's close here. 10 more weeks would kill me. Ah.
I thought he was saying it's 10 more weeks for him. I'm like, no, man, you said April 15th.
Yeah.
I was about to pull out my calendar and look.
Mine's
Yeah.
not, but I'm not taking them out next week.
I think mine's the same as Rob's. I can't remember.
Yeah, usually this is the 15th, I believe what you were saying.
Jared says this is the first year in probably 10 plus years we are having spring start. Actually, in spring. Usually we are having spring like weather in late January.
Yeah.
Last year it was 80s in the middle of February. Today it snowed here.
Yeah, that's the
And
same.
after the last live stream, we got an inch of snow, which it rained after that. And when I woke up the next day, it was 60. So there was no snow at all. But oh, and today it just snowed, as in the air. Never even made it to the ground. I mean, I think it was 43 or something. So
Yep, that's about where we got today. It's
Yeah, it's
very
messed
rare
up.
for us to have the same high temperature.
Yeah, that we did. I did have the same thing.
Yeah, it's messed up, man. There's no way that North Carolina should be having the same weather as Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that where what's her name was from? Who's the man? I cannot remember this.
Susie says we just got a good foot and a half.
Yeah, every time I watch JT Bear's videos, it really makes me depressed. Like that last one, or not the last one, but because he just put one out while we were on the live stream. But before that, I can't remember, 2 days ago or something, he showed the outside and you could see a path, and there was like like a foot and a half, 2 feet of snow outside, and you could see the path going, and there was still snow in the path where it snowed again. It
Yep.
just really made me depressed. And then I looked outside and there was no snow, so then I was okay.
That's what it's like here most of the time. We have paths dug in the snow.
Yeah, I know, but I used to live in that kind of stuff. That's why it made me depressed. I was like, oh man, I know what that's like. But then I looked outside and I'm like, oh, it's funny because it's not me.
Jared says we had 80s for a week straight in early February this year, then went back to super cold, then raining for the last week, on and off.
Yeah, it's been raining like crazy here. Like I took a shower earlier and like within like 3 minutes the water started backing up in the shower because we're on septic here and the yard is so flooded that apparently the water's seeping into the septic instead of out of the septic into the leach field.
Susie says, but it has been nicer. Only minus 6 C today. Yeah,
Which is
that's probably about where it is here. Well, it's probably let's see. At 7 o'clock it was 38 degrees. So that's 6 degrees above freezing. So a 12-degree difference almost. Jared says, did we already say where's Dave yet? Laughing out loud. Should we be praying for Dave?
Nah,
he's taking care of his plants right now. He should be
after
on Friday.
church. Church first, though.
He's being a responsible business owner. How's that?
Yeah, but he should be here on Friday. He was going to come on today, but then he was like, well, maybe I'll just be on Friday. I really want to take care of my plants. Me being such a awesome host, I was like, by all means, man, take care of them. Okay, I didn't exactly say that. My response was okay, but yeah, you can. It was implied.
Yeah.
I was just going to say it was implied, though. Joe's in the house.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
Joe?
No praying for Dave today. We know where he is. He's accounted for.
But you can still pray for him because I know it's going to be. You can pray for anybody who's a lot of seed trays. So they all need a little bit of prayer. So that's all of us. So you can still pray for him.
Well, I really hope everybody has a good growing season this year.
I hope so too. And I'm already starting to see a lot of people taking stuff out. So that's cool.
Yeah, Jared, I should be in my grow room right now giving my plants water because I haven't, or master blend, because I haven't fed them in 2 weeks now.
Mine are drinking fast.
Mine haven't hit that point yet. They're getting there, but
Oh, I
like
mean,
the little ones, they don't need water, but the biggest ones, not the kitchen windows ones, but the biggest ones, those ones are just starting to droop over a little bit.
well, I watered all the ones in the trays today that I showed in my last update. Well, my last video, being sitting down in front of the tent looking at the plants in a different way. I fed all those. So that was 3 or 4 gallons of water.
Chad's in the house.
I did that today. A lot of the solo companies still are good. Only probably 38 of them drink a lot of water fast. My biggest thing is that in the 2x4, um, they're just going to get too big. I don't know how I'm going to get to them. So I may have to clean out that one that was infested with whatever in the garage, or just start taking stuff out early. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk it, even though it's nice weather here. It's like 83 today, but still, I just don't. I don't want to take a chance because this has just been too crazy of a weather season, like everybody's describing. You know, you go 80 one day and it's 40s. It's just too crazy this year.
Going on, Chad?
So the potting soil that I had all of my seedlings in, they didn't get big enough to take the nutrients out, so I want to reuse it. So would you suggest microwave or oven it?
Definitely not microwave. I wouldn't do either one, but if you're gonna do one or the other, I would do oven. Microwave will destroy all of like all your microbial everything because
Mhm.
it'll just radiate it.
Mhm.
I mean, unless you're gonna put stuff back into it, then I guess that would be fine. But I
Because
wouldn't
don't you put
microwave it and expect it to be perfect.
because I was thinking if you use water out of a fish tank, that would put a lot of the bacterial type things back into it. I don't know if they're the right ones though.
Some of them.
Alex is in the house.
What's up, Alex?
So
Congrats on that marriage.
you're looking for stuff to put microbes in the soil?
Hmm?
Is that what you're saying? To put microbes back in the soil?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I understand killing the bacteria in the soil if I microwave it or if I put it in the oven.
Uh-huh.
But if I use fish water, is that going to put uh, great types of microbes back into it?
Well, I mean, like I was saying in the last live stream, for me, what I use is a product called Recharge. So it has all those in there, and it's just like a big compost, and it recharges the soil, doing just that. It puts all the beneficial bacteria and the microbes back in because there's so many count. You just mix it, like I said, just how much it says according on the label, and you can go in and it recharges your soil. That's why it's called recharge. But I mean, like I said, if you see my root growth, I mean, it just is crazy after just when it's been just soaking up on recharge. And everything that I have, like my trays, the 17 cell trays, they just perk up as soon as you get that. So it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
And it's a good product. Oh, hey, Chad. How's it going? And Jared, yes, I did see Peter Stanley's video. My thing is with that, with the amount of plants that I'm doing, I can't afford to lose that much space to hold that container for the self watering on a 1020 tray. That's too many. That's too many spots. I'm giving up. So for me, it just is, if you're doing plants, I see where it's good and that you have a lot of room maybe, but for to get I wouldn't say half a 1020 tray, but a good portion of the 1020 tray to contain to hold that container of water for this watering. I don't want to lose any spots. So that's just me. For me, it's just to pick up one 3-inch container and then dump all the water in the tray. So each tray uses half a gallon of water. It seems to work for me.
And Jared said just add mycorrhiza to your soil. That's good bacteria.
Is that something I can go buy anywhere? I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever bought it by itself.
believe
I've
the
used a
box
couple.
covers
I've
it.
used Extreme and I've used a Bigfoot. Those are the two brands that I've used. And also a Great White. So those are the three top. I mean, the two top are really is the Great White and the Extreme. But the Extreme is what I use most often.
Or you could just get some Master Blend.
I have Master Blend.
Just do that. I mean, I don't worry. Well, I worry about like drainage. So like adding perlite or vermiculite or whatever in there and stuff like that. But besides that, I don't really care what kind of soil it is because mine are all running off of Master Blend. So the soil in my case is pretty much it's soaking the Master Blend up, but that's just about it. Once the roots come down to the bottom, the soil doesn't mean anything to me. They could be clay pellets, it could be
Yeah.
gravel.
But just like if you're in cocoa or hydroton or hydroton or however you want to say it, it's the same thing. I mean, like you said, I mean, that's just like the double cup. That's pretty much what it is. It's just the soil method until you get the roots to the hydro, and then you're doing straight hydro after that.
Yeah, I only care at first just so it'll wick it up. Because with those seedlings, it's only like that far down in the cup. It needs to wick up a decent amount. But I just put extra Master Blend in it. Or actually, usually I don't put Master Blend until the roots are probably most of the way down. But
Yeah. I don't do nutrients until you see them pop out of the bottom.
I will. I try to get a little jump start on them. I said in one of my videos I don't do it until I know they're going to live. Well, once I know they're going to live and they start actually putting off, I don't want to say they're not a seedling anymore, but once I know that they're actually going to live, that's when it's on.
Cool.
And like I said last live stream, I don't ever do water. I do straight Master Blend, usually 3-2-2 or 3-2.5-2 blend, and that's all they get. I'm sure it'd be good to give them water in between there, but I stress my plants so much that I don't want to waste any more time. I want those things getting as big as possible.
You guys take the netting off of your pods and you transfer, or do you leave them on? On your pods. Oh no.
Oh, you're talking about those little clay pellets where you add the water and they expand? Whenever I transferred,
Oh, that's
I
right.
always took it off.
The peat things,
Yeah.
the peat moss discs that you have a net around them. That's what it's referring to.
Yeah,
I just
I'm not a big fan of them. I've had luck with them, but I've never had good luck with them. I've gotten things to grow in them, but I just fill up a cup with whatever soil I'm using and put a plastic bag over top of it, throw seeds in there, water it, throw a plastic bag over it, set it on the heat mat. Usually they pop up.
Okay, let me catch up here. Jared says, Rob, get the extreme micros off Amazon. I add a pinch into every pot with my seedlings. Cool, I just looked it up and I found a listing, so I'll look into that. Chad says, trout season is upon us. Alex says, I'm jelly. The lakes here don't have enough ice to fish on them. We are waiting on summer now. Derek says, do you guys take the netting off your pots when you transfer it? Okay, so we're talking about that. Other Rob says, come visit here. Open water year round. Derek says, using those little seed starter things. Yeah, I take them off because all it does is hold the peat moss in place. At least cut the bottom out so the roots can come out. They're supposed to break down in soil but I've had it where they didn't. So I take those off. Let's see. It goes on to say, with the netting, pellets is what I meant. Cool. Jared says, crazy, are you talking about pea pellets? Yes, he is. Alex says, one of these days I am going to take you up on that off air, brother. Derek says, all mine were used in those this year. Cool, I think. I've had good luck with them. Jared says, I hate those Jiffy pellets. Yeah, as long as you take the net off, they're usually fine. Susie says, other Rob caught a monster walleye a couple years ago, 32 inches at 12 pounds. Wow. That's a good couple of meals.
Mhm.
Other Rob says, you're more than welcome to share the water with me, bud. Yeah. Susie says, I meant Rob caught. Yeah. Jared says, I've been loving using my Pro Mix with worm castings added for starting seeds. Yeah, I'm going to look into worm castings more this year, too. Alex says, Dane Cade, that's a hella nice walleye. Other Ab says, world record walleyes came from a lake an hour from me. 25 pound. Wow. That's like huge. Right. Yeah.
It's a big fish.
Alex says, boom. Chad says, fishing and peppers. I am in heaven. Uh, Susie says, Rob, I hope you have that stuffed on your wall. Other Rob says, okay, thumbs up, thumbs up. So it must be.
Fishing and peppers, that's like aquaponics. Although I don't recommend doing peppers in aquaponics. I did it for what, 4 years now. It works, but not that good. It's too much water. They don't like that much water. Although if you like really mild peppers, that might be your thing. I grew, well, I don't know what they're like, but I bet it would be like Rob's habanada. Because I had a habanero and I tried that thing. I think that was the very first time my stupid face was on my YouTube videos. And I tried that thing and it had like no heat whatsoever, but tasted like a habanero.
Hmm.
All this fishing talk is making me miss my boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never had a boat, even though I have 3.
See, the best thing though, Jared, though, is that you don't have to break out another 1,000.
I was going to say that. It's my favorite acronym. My my brother-in-law has, geez, oh man, I don't know. He has a 15.5 foot Carolina skiff, some aluminum boat, V-hull, and then he's got like a 12-foot little skiff type boat, and then he's got this gigantic boat that you could probably take out in the ocean. That thing is, I mean, it's got to be like 32 foot. It's gigantic. I've never been on that one. Yeah, I agree. Actually, out of all of his boats that he has, the one boat that I would want is that 15.5 foot Carolina skiff. That thing's perfect. 25 horsepower outboard. It's perfect. Like you can work on it easy, and there's nothing really much to it. It's got the steering wheel and the control on it, but I mean that's easy enough to maintain. I think he did have to replace the control cable once or twice. Yeah, I don't know what the heck I have. Some goofy aluminum boat.
You see, I'm a weight fisherman, so I like to wade fish.
You're a what fisherman?
Wade fisherman. I like to
Uh,
wade. WADE.
hmm
So I like saltwater. So that's the thing I like.
Yeah. Chad said he's getting a new trolling motor before this weekend. His bit the dust on the first trip out last Saturday. Or no, that is a boat that I had. I had a, I don't know how big it was. It was a canoe, and it had like a little arm that came off the very back of it, and you could put a trolling motor on there. And I just put one of those giant marine batteries right underneath there, and you'd crank that thing I was in it by myself. You crank that thing up to like 6 gear, whatever. The whole front end of the canoe would just stand up and everything. That was a fun boat. And then I left the trolling motor at my cousin's house, and then when I got it back, somehow the shaft was bent and the prop didn't spin.
Hmm. Uh, Catching up a little bit, Paula says I might grow the habanada next year, and then back down to where we are. I've always heard the best 2 days of owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Yep.
Other Rob says I'm mostly a stream fisherman.
When I lived by a stream, that's what I was. There's nothing better than just wandering around and like, oh, there's a deep pool, and like trying to stay far enough away so the fish don't see you and casting into it.
Paula says I haven't been fishing since I lived in Montana. The fishing rules in Washington are too confusing. I haven't been fishing since '98.
Hmm.
Yeah, the rules down here are crazy. When I moved here, you didn't need a fishing license to fish in the ocean. You needed it to go out in the ocean and fish. But from the beach, you could just cast off, didn't need a license. Then that all changed. Now you need a license for that. And ugh, it's too much red tape.
Yes, I mean here you have to have a fishing license plus a saltwater tag.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's what you have to have here now too.
yeah. So you have to have a saltwater tag. So that's just just like hunting too. You got to have all the waterfowl and whatever it's supposed. White wings, whatever one you need for your hunting license.
You don't need much down here for hunting. You buy a hunting license, you can do everything except for ducks or waterfowl.
Yeah.
That's a federal thing though. You need
Right.
duck
Yeah.
stamps. But other than that, you get all your deer. You can kill as many. Well, technically, we don't have any wild pigs or wild boar here. They're all feral pigs, so there's no limit on them. You can shoot them all year long, as many as you want. Same with coyotes, beavers, and nutria.
Yeah.
There's no limit, no end date. The only thing is with nutria, you can't use a shotgun while duck hunting season is in because they're afraid of ricocheting and hitting another duck hunter.
It says I'm a hardcore bass fisherman. Nothing I'd rather do more. Laughing out loud. Other Rob says smallmouth bass are king. I'm a multi-species fisherman, though I like all fish. And Jared says we have some great spotted bass fishing here, but mostly largemouth. Kate says Rob ditto, or other Rob ditto. And he replies, where you at, Jared? Or says, where you at, Jared? Jared says, I enjoy taking the kids fishing for bluegill and crappie off the bank too. Okay. That says, come visit, Rob. I'll get you on some crappie and largemouth. Private lake, no license needed. Huh.
That's the best part about where my sister lives. She lives on a private lake, and they just keep their fishing poles right out there by the lake. And you just walk out, grab a fishing pole, toss it right in. And every time my dad goes over there, he spends like half the time he's at my sister's house just out there fishing. And same thing, don't need a license or anything because it's a private lake.
Jared says, I'm in California on the Central Coast. Down where it's almost warm. Other app says, "Sweet. I'm in the I'm in Middle Tennessee. Largemouth, smallmouth, and spots here. I have no idea what kind of fish are here other than northerns and walleyes."
The best fishing I ever did was this was a long time ago, like 97, 98. Me and my dad and his other buddy, you know those stupid boats at an amusement park that you get? You can put two people in them and you like have the little foot pedals and it just moves the little propeller in the back of the boat and everything.
Yeah, pedal boat.
Well, he had one of those. Well, I don't want to call it a paddle boat because I think of those ones like on the Mississippi with the big giant paddles and stuff. But he had one of those with trolling motors on them, and then he would have platforms where you could stand about 2.5, 3 feet above those boats, and we would just have like controls where we can control the trolling motor, and we go out in the early spring when the fish were spawning, and with our bows, and go bow fishing for carp and gar. That was a lot of fun. It's kind of like hunting meets fishing.
Yeah. We have a lot of gar here in the freshwater section.
And Derek says, "I'm right on Lake Erie."
Oh, that's where we were.
Almost literally.
That's where we were when we were bow fishing. We were right off of Presque Isle.
Jared says, "Other app, I've been to Tennessee before. We went to visit friends in Sparta. Cool." Susie says, "Isn't it called a pedal boat?" That's what I said, a pedal boat.
I thought you said paddle boat.
No, pedal, because you're pedaling it.
Okay, no, that makes more sense. Well, it didn't actually have it didn't have the pedals or the little propeller. They rigged it up so it just had a little trolling motor on there.
Mm-hmm. Those little ones with 4 seats. I've seen them with 2 seats too. And Derek says, "This is Sparta." Another app says, "Last year I caught over 30 species out of the stream I fish around here." Cool. Alex says, "Well, I gotta head out. Hope you are having a great day. Bye-bye. See you later, Alex."
Later, Alex.
He handled that crispy like a true champ.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
And Susie says, "Okay, have a great night." Other app says, "Jared, I'm in Franklin, just south of Nashville." Scott says, "Have a good night, one Alex. Hey, what's up, guys?" From Aaron. So Aaron's in the house. I'll be back in a minute.
So, Aaron, we see that your test went, it was a success, I guess, correct? So we'll be ready for tomorrow night at 10.
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Cool. Did anybody want to volunteer and be on your live stream?
Chad said he's got to go. His son's going back to the surgeon tomorrow and may get his feeding tube removed. Ouch. Just the term feeding tube. Whew, gives me the chills.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck with that, Chad. Hoping the best for everything.
Susie, why is having a beer not a good idea? I've never heard that said before.
Yeah.
I've heard, hold my beer, I'm going to show you something, but never heard, you're going to have a beer. That might not be a good idea.
Right.
Derek said, I think tonight I'll be replanting my plants, taking the netting off. How did you plant them? Are they like in a cup or something and you just took the netting and everything and just put it in the cup and filled it up with soil? I don't think it matters. I don't think so.
Well, Susie, in about a minute, if you say you're on 6 or 9 or 7 or 10, then you may have an issue.
Yeah, third or fifth. Nah, you're on a good roll. Especially if you can't remember if it's third or fifth. You'll be fine. Yeah, Derek, I don't believe I believe on the advert, if I remember, it's been a long time since I've had those little peat pots thing, but I believe that they advertise that you don't have to take the netting off. You can just plant them right in the ground and the roots will just grow right through the netting and everything will be fine. Me personally, I always took the netting off, but I also knocked off a lot of the peat and everything, mixed it into the soil, and then planted them. But Susie's just got to count the beers left. That'll let her know what number she's on.
Right? That'll work.
It's a good system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek said, yeah. It says you can leave the netting on. When you planted them, were there roots coming out of the netting? Because if roots are coming out of the netting, then I'd probably not take the net off. That way you don't disturb the roots. Because I remember that was one problem I had with the peat pods. I would leave them in the peat pod too long, and then when I rip because you can just rip that netting right off. And whenever I do that, I remember knocking a pile of roots off of those things. They usually were fine, but I try not to mess with the roots at all. What's up, Freaky?
Hey, freaking.
Another Canuck. You got like half a Canadian on the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, no, less than half because Alex got off.
That's true.
Was their test stream successful?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That was just how it went. And I was kind of flipping back and forth. So, I know there's a lot of people who are on here now that was over there.
Yeah, I see Freaky came in. Whereabouts in the chat are you?
Right about where you are.
Yeah, wherever you want to be at.
All right, so
Talking about beers with Susie.
just got to count the beers left. Okay. Derek says, yeah, it says you can leave them on. Freaky says, good evening, all. Welcome back, Freaky. And if you're talking about the Jiffy Peat pots, it's best to rip the net while it's wet before seed germinates. I tried that, but the peat just kind of kept expanding and went all over the thing and overflowed. So it didn't work that well for me.
Yeah, I like to rip the net when the plant actually popped up, but before the roots actually made it to the net. And that's usually when I would transplant them. Before, like, you'd see the roots coming close to the net, and that's where I'd rip it right when, like, I'd hold it over whatever I was planting it into, whether the garden or into a cup or whatever, and I would rip it and then just put it right in.
And I took a pair of scissors to it. That way I could hold it in my hand, cut up the one edge, set it down, take the net off, and set it into its place. Seemed to work pretty well. Let's see. Freaky says if you're talking about the Jiffy peat pots or peat pot, it's best to rip the net off while it's wet before seed germinates. Crazy says, no, they were still pretty small in my plant video. It's shortly after putting them in the cups. Okay. Crazy says, I have a couple germinating now. I'll do that, Freaky. Some Batman Hell's Bells.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, okay, I got it. Some of Batman's Hell's Bells. Gotcha. Kyle's in the house. Says, what up, dudes? Been a busy night. Just got home, laying down, about to pass out. Hopefully that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Means you had a good, busy, productive day. That is a good thing.
Pinky says,
That's
Todd,
right.
that's what the peats do. Expand, ripping the net helps the roots poke through better. Okay. And also says, Kyle, just got home too. I was playing darts. Why is you late? He says, hey, Kyle. And Kyle says, kids hockey. So cool. We're all caught up.
That's got to be fun.
Right.
I know. I never really watched kids playing hockey, but my buddy, geez, when the heck did he have his kid? 2001. So that kid's about to be or that kid is driving. Holy cow! Yeah, January of '01 it was born. But I remember when the kid was like 5, my buddy got him into hockey. He said it was the funniest thing in the world watching these little 5-year-olds skating around, bumping into each other, falling over. And I'm like, well, how good are they? Like, do they actually handle the puck? Or he's like, no, they suck. But man, it's fun to watch.
The one episode of South Park where Kyle was put in charge of the Pee Wee hockey team, and that's pretty much what they did.
Yeah.
Bernie's in the house. What's happening, everyone?
Hey, Bernie.
Welcome back, Bernie. Kyle says, laughing out loud, it's great. Kids just all over the ice, just laying there.
That's what he said. You see them like they're like trying to skate, and then they bump into one of each other, and bang, there's 2 guys down, and more of them are trying to skate, and then they bump into each other, and then because they have all the equipment on, they can't get back up. They're like laying on the ground trying to get up.
Vicky says, good thing somebody said Bernie. I was about to say hello, Bunny.
Bernie Bunny.
Yeah, Derek says, dang, iPad is dying. Be right back. Bring the charger with you. So is Raymond still in here?
No, what did he say? He was at work?
Yeah, he was at work. That's right. I'm wondering if he found his cube because in his live stream, was it yesterday? He said he was working on his cube to try and solve it, but I had no idea where it was at the time.
That makes it real hard.
Yep. Kyle says, it is incredible. There are a few kids that are about 2 feet tall that can fly across the ice and handle a puck. Looks abnormal.
Yeah, because they don't have any insecurities like adults do.
Well, I don't care if I fall down. It won't bother me too much.
It's like
Kid point of view.
You ever go skiing or snowboarding and see little tiny kids skiing and snowboarding? They do not care. They will just fly down the mountain.
Kyle, it must be in the genes. As in, yeah.
So, Rob, decided on starting more seeds or what?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been starting them. A few here, a few there as I get the soil ready. But yeah, we were prepping soil yesterday. Soaking it down so it's almost muddy and then microwave until it starts steaming and then let it cool off and mix it up. So I'm going to take that and mix it with stuff that's been sitting outside all winter so it shouldn't have any bugs in it and go from there.
Somebody said that the freezing thing didn't work.
Well, it won't work for eggs, and most bugs it'll kill them. You know, the adults, but the eggs will survive the freeze.
Yeah, because they definitely survived. it froze in my garage, and I used it, and there are definitely fungus gnats in my grow room. I thought the freeze would take them out, but nope.
No, the eggs will survive. Let's see. Nikki Diamond is back after quite some time and says, "We meet again, Double D." Yep. Haven't seen you in a while, Nikki. Carl says, "Sup, Rob?" As in other Rob. He says, "Just chilling out." He says, "Would ladybugs eat those bugs and eggs?" I don't know. Would they? I know that they're a predatory bug, and there was a video. I forget where it was. The lady. Oh, wasn't it Batman that did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ladybugs eating an aphid. I don't know if they would or not, but fungus gnats, isn't that hydrogen peroxide in water and soak the soil? I think that's how you get rid of them. Nikki says, couple of people missing from the stream. Not really. It's mainly just us three. Freaky says, JT Bear has ladybugs. Yeah, 4 of them, I think.
He needs more. If you want to
Lots
buy
more.
JP Bear some ladybugs and ship them to him, I'll give you his address.
Kyle says that.
I recommend 5,000.
Oh, at least. Kyle says, other Rob got you something pretty cool. Hope you like it. Oh, that sounds interesting. Jared says, Rob, I can't say enough good stuff about the Pro Mix from Home Depot for seed starting.
Is that the Jiffy Mix? Is that the Jiffy Mix, Jared? Is that what you're talking about?
Promix is the peat moss and perlite. You can use that to make a super soil. That's what a lot of people use.
Okay.
We just add a bunch of different, but
Okay, this is getting interesting. So, Kyle says, Rob got you something pretty cool. Hope you like it. And other Rob says, awesome. I can't wait. I hope you like what you got on the way too. Oh, so there's some kind of an exchange going on.
What's up, Beady Beats?
Mr. Beady Beats has shown up.
did you get your seeds planted?
Freaky says, clouds in the sky is up. So I have a little story. Yesterday I was doing my live stream and I thought it would be so cool to have an image that I could put up on both YouTube and Twitch saying, starting soon, and my Minecraft name and Minecraft image. So I sent a little message to BD asking him as nicely as I could if he could put something like that together with a few parameters. A little while later, he says, I just sent you an image. Pick it up, and that was flipping awesome. We had to do one minor little tweak to it. But yeah, in just a short time, he went from my concept of idea to getting something so close to perfect of what I wanted. And I'm just like floored. I think it's really awesome that he went and did that for me. It was just such a little instructions or request or however you want to put it. But yeah, it was pretty flippin' awesome. So Mr. Beady Beats, I thank you very much. It was very cool of you to do that, and I greatly appreciate it. So there. I'm teasing, of course. About the so there part anyway. Let's see. Freaky says, hello, Beats, and anybody I missed. Other Rob says, hey, BD. Vicky says, did you eat the chocolate, Rob? Yes, I did. BD says, I fell asleep after I made dinner, Charles. I'm getting ready to do them tonight. Scott says, what's up, BD? And Kyle says, "Hello, Scott. How goes it, sir?" Petey says, "What's up, Robin Scott?" Other Robin Scott, and also says hello to Freaky. So, but yeah, apparently, other Rob, BD did something for him as well.
That looks cool.
I like him. And it's so cool, nice and bright colors, all Minecraft theme. Pretty awesome. Sun coming up, raids coming out. Oh yeah. So, my buddy just got his package today, Scott. Everything made it safely. We don't know what was in the package. I don't think we should ask what's in the package, but a package arrived.
What was in the package?
Is it jams?
I'll be that guy.
You know, at least jams.
Yeah, it was probably jams. Jared says, Rob, my 10-year-old so was obsessed with Minecraft, but has moved on to a game called Fortnite. I guess it's got elements from Minecraft and another game called Ark. Yeah, Fortnite is a little bit more complex. And yeah, I've seen people play that. They haven't had an interest in it. But mind you, it's a good game.
Never heard of it.
Me neither.
I feel old.
Well, if you go on Twitch and just type in Fortnite into the search bar, just about any time during the day you can find 50, 100, 150 people playing it.
So these kids or what?
It ranges from kids to adults, just like Minecraft does.
No. So these are people who don't work.
Hmm?
So these people don't work. Okay. Or they have game playing as part of their daily routine. Okay. I wish I had that job.
Well, it's harder than you might think, though.
The game or actually playing and doing things.
Playing like that.
Oh.
Well, you take like Call of Duty, where it's same maps, you do the same thing all the time. You don't really have to think about it. You get good at it and the such. That's not hard to sit and play all day long if you're good at it. But Minecraft, you have to, Fortnite too, and Ark for that matter. Ark is really interesting if you like dinosaurs, but they're all thinking games. You gotta figure out how to build things, how to make them work, how to function, and get everything else and survive. Where, yeah, you die and you respawn unless you're playing in hardcore mode, but yeah. Let's see.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Susie says, never heard of it. Other Rob says, jams, of course. Freaky says, good music, this jams. Kyle says, yes, if you work and do anything else, there is no way you can be good, Charles. Scott says, awesome, Other Rob. Kyle says, Ark is hard as all get out. Yes, it is, especially when you have to go through the whole process of trying to tame the dinosaurs and get them to be your minions and work for you. Freaky says, no, well, no wonder I suck at Minecraft. It's a thinking game. Yep. Scott says, what's up, Kyle? You've not heard of Ark, have you?
No, wait, you gotta tame dinosaurs and stuff like that in this
Okay,
game.
here's
This
the
is the craziest thing. When I heard Ark, I'm thinking like Noah's Ark. I'm like, oh, it's about two of each animal.
no, but
Dinosaurs? There were no dinosaurs on that Ark. I read that story many times.
would you like to hear the premise of the
He
game
said
Ark?
two of every animal, so I guess maybe there were dinosaurs, but yeah, go
Ark
ahead.
is a great big huge spaceship that found dinosaurs on one planet and were bringing them to another. Something went wrong and the dinosaurs got out and ate everybody and they were living. It was a big ecosystem inside. And you get piped into this huge ship with nothing on your back but, your clothes. And the object is to survive and tame the dinosaurs and basically take the place over and reclaim the ship.
Wait, who is this person that like thought this ship would be a good idea? Have they never heard about the experiments with Australia where they're like, we'll just bring rabbits, and then the rabbits overran everything, and they're like, ah, we'll just bring cats, and then the cats overran everything, and
Didn't they watch Jurassic Park?
yeah, exactly. It's never a good idea.
No.
Ah,
Well, it's
let's
something
see.
I'm not interested in, but thank you for explaining Fortnite and art. Something I'll definitely not watch out for.
Yeah, Freaky says, I've not heard of either games before tonight. And Freaky says, Rev thought of that as well. Cal says, dude, you punch them to knock them out. Rev, it's funny as all hell. Yeah, the smaller ones you can, but the bigger ones you got to get tranquilizer guns and that kind of stuff. And Scott says, you're welcome, Mother Rob. Freaky says, too many Jurassic Park movies. And Jared says, I'm not into video games at all. I'll play a good first person shooter game once in a while, but lose interest quickly. And then it's year till I play again. Well, see, that's the difference between first person shooters where you do the same thing over and over again, and Minecraft or Fortnite or Ark where you have to actually think things through. Mr. Dave is here. Ha 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 ha. Don't let them shut you down, Rob. No, they're not shutting me down. They're just teasing me. So BD says, man,
We're shutting you down. That's what
all
we're doing.
right. All right, fine.
Exactly right.
BD says, man, I used to play that roller coaster tycoon game years ago. So did I. I could spend hours staring at the screen trying to get the physics right for a roller coaster.
I think I played that for like 10 minutes once.
Ricky says, BD, my computer crashed when I tried playing that game. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, no. I played it for quite a while when it first came out.
My games were Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Gaston, Street Fighter, and that's about it on that.
Contra. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, select, start. Contra code.
I used to work in an arcade when I was younger. I used to play all of the games.
Oh yeah, Mario. Yeah. There's a lot of games. I guess Legend of Zelda. I liked a bunch of those.
I remember when that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game came out in the arcade. You could never play that thing because there was always like 4 people playing, and they would play all night long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the arcade game, Super Mario Brothers. If I put my quarter up on the machine for the next game, people would groan. My best game, I went through start to finish, every level on one guy. I didn't die once the entire game. Let's see. BD says, I had Windows 95, laughing out loud, freaky. Some crazy lady kept yelling, Tor, Tor, Tor. And Jared says, "Hi, Dave." Freaky says, "My mother loved Contra." Susie says, "Flight Simulator." That was a good one. Going at home, or Dave says, "Hey, man, Charles, that was my extent of games." And what's up, Jared? Kyle's taking off, says, "Good night, all." So have a good night, Kyle.
Later, Cal.
On oh, sorry, go ahead.
Susie says, "But on a serious note, Assassin's Creed. Didn't like that game. Me myself."
I
And
have
Freaky
one of them,
says,
and I don't know. I'm not good at it.
"Yeah, I didn't care for it." And everybody or people are saying bye to Nick to Kyle.
Night, Kyle.
Uh, Freaky says, "Heard of Assassin's Creed, never played it." Brittany says, "Legend of Zelda games are my favorite."
I
We
like
have
the
one of those in the shop at the time, and it just bores me.
yeah, I like the Nintendo 64 versions, like that
Yeah,
Ocarina in Time. That was a great game.
we had a Nintendo 64 in the shop for a while.
If you're ever into electronic music or whatever, play the Crystal Method Vegas when you're playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It like almost fits it perfect. It depends on what area you're in. It's kind of almost like you're in Pink Floyd when you're watching Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, which is a flipping freaky. Susan's in the house.
Hey, Susan.
Everybody's saying hi and back and forth. Dave says Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat was always lined up at the arcades.
So Susan got a hold of Alfred yet?
What?
Has she got a hold of Alfred? And she needs to get in touch with him before she does her Lama video. This is the comment on one of the posts. Right.
Okay, Dave, my replacement white Carbonaro seedlings sprouted this weekend. Should be back in business now. Cool. Susan says, "Hi, Scott. Nice box of jam and heat treats for Anthony." Vicky says, "Good to hear, Jared." So now we're caught up.
And Susan said hi to Susie. That's funny. Yeah, Susan Katie is Susie. So now we got a Susan and a Susie.
Yeah, it's like Rob, another Rob.
Oh, and Susan, did you see that you were tagged for the allotment challenge? Because we all saw that.
That's why I was bringing the Alfred thing. Because that's what she put on.
Let's see. Dave says, "Sweet Jared, we will all pray those produce." Scott says, "Thanks, Susan. I had to hook them up." Yeah, it's getting confusing for me too, says Susie. Freaky says, "On meat hook, Scott?" That's why I was laughing because I saw that beforehand. Anthony said, "Much appreciated, guys." And Susan, yeah, I need Alfred. Hmm.
Yeah, Anthony's got a lot of stuff going on now. And he already has, I imagine he already had a pretty good stockpile of it.
Susan says, "I know, but it sounds too close, so I like Cade." Or is it KD? Anthony says, "I do." Here it says, yes, Dave, I'm looking forward to trying them and plan to save a ton of seeds to share. And Susan says, yeah, Reb, Charles is on it already. Dave says, hope you gotten, or have you gotten any packages yet, Anthony? Z says, uh-oh, hostility, laughing out loud. Okay, Katie works. All right, so I'll switch it to Katie then. BD says, Anthony, your prize should be there any day this week. Hope it makes it. They're all right. I sent it on Monday, I think. I'm not sure, but I think.
He knows.
And Anthony says yes from you, Dave, Scott, Gage, and Charles.
Cool.
So, Dave, you're not popping on real quick with us? Anthony says, no worries, BD. Susan says, unfortunately, Anthony's box from me will have to wait another week. He knows why. Well, as long as you guys have it worked out.
And then I don't know if we should like tell this information, but I think Kyle's resting up. That's why he's going to bed because he knows he's got chocolate bootlegs coming from a certain person. So I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Kyle might be preparing not just for a bike ride. He's going to find another kind of ride pretty soon.
Uh-oh. He says you might have posted on Monday, but it might have started traveling on Tuesday. Yep, depending on what time it got to the post office and the time trucking to it. Other Rob says, I sent mine Monday too, Anthony, so soon it will be there. Anthony says, Susan smiles, all good. And Russ says, who?
I liked when they had the single flat rate box, and every time in 2 days, they give you like 3 days. They added like a day one.
The lady at the BD says the lady at the post office said this is a thick envelope. What you got in there?
Don't worry, I've had the same question.
I've had that question with an envelope. What do you have in here? Seeds? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They never care about what kind of seeds.
Yeah. Well, unless your post office knows what you send out, because I've already had many conversations with most of the people at the counter, so they already know what the hell I have in there anyway. More sauce, more seeds, more peppers, whatever it is, they know what the hell I have. So.
Susan says Katie is an awesome name.
I agree.
Dave says, no, sir, I'm trying to finish here, but I'm not being very successful joining in the chat. Haha. One more tray and I'm done seating. Okay, fine. Anthony says, thanks, Other Rob. Other Rob says, you're welcome. Hope you enjoy. Russ says, just add a stamp. Freaky says, Dave, just jump right in. It's what I does.
Hey, Rocky.
Rocky's in the house. Says, how's it going, everybody?
I'll watch your video as we're through here. Rocky.
Jared says, Xavier still planting too. I thought I was the only one that waited this long to finish. Jared, I'm still planting too. So
I'm still planning, but I also started planning like right after New Year's.
Katie says, Katie Swan is my Star Wars name. Freaky says, Jared, I don't start seeds till April. Jared says, Freaky, do you grow super hots? Freaky says, hello, Rocky. So going, it's done. Oh, so going, it's gone.
gone.
Ricky says only pepper I was good at growing so far is
And
yeah, it's got to be cayenne. Katie says, "Hey Rocky." Oh, been a long day.
can I mention Peppa's here?
Peppa Pig.
Nope, you didn't. You forgot all about her. Now she feels better.
She's smiling.
Yep. Ricky says, Rev got it. Sorry, bad spelling. Jared says, okay, super hots have to be started early or you won't have enough time for them to fruit.
Yep. Or sprout. Some of them take forever.
Reapers take a while, usually.
Mine did in like 4 or 5 days.
Uh, so you guys can answer this one. Ricky says, what exactly is a super hot other than a pepper?
Depends on
Hotter
who.
than a hot.
It depends on who's answering. My guess is anything above habanero.
Yeah.
Just because habaneros were the hottest pepper in the world for the longest time, and then everything else came. So that's why I go that route.
Because you got mild, or you got no heat green peppers, and then you got milds, which are up to what 30,000. Then habaneros at hots up to habaneros is hot. Then after habaneros is super hot until you get to ghost pepper, and after ghost pepper is ultra hot.
Yeah, I don't play that game. I just do. You got your sweet peppers, which is like below a habanero. Then you got habaneros, and then above that's all super hots to me.
Yeah. I agree with Rev. I don't go this ultra hot.
Yeah, I mix them all together. That way, you never know. It could be an MOA Scotch bonnet, or it could be a Reaper. If you think you can take a super hot, then well, let's see. Appreciate that, Rose.
Donation 270 from Russ. Cool.
I love
I
the
think you must do
70s.
for him.
I don't have to do the math or anything, but I just assume the 70 goes to YouTube.
Yeah.
Ah. Katie says I'm growing Reapers, Moruga Scorpion, and Butch T Scorpion, Naga Viper, and Boots. And they are taking forever. Jared says they are the world's hottest pepper varieties. Then we hit Russ's donation for 270 again. Cool. Freaky says I'll go through my seeds tomorrow when I have more better lighting and list out the peppers I have. PD says Walmart green bells are super hots too. Uh-huh. Joke. Freaky says hello, Yaya. Did not see you till the super chat. And Beats, is that or is that not a bell pepper? Yeah. Russ says no worries, Freaky. Jared is giving a BD smiles. I never know how to say those things.
Yeah, those emoticons, whatever the hell they are.
Yep. Russ says hi. Haha, yes sir, Rev. Freaky says, sure I worry if I'm being rude, yeah. I don't think so, but anyway. Bernie says, I agree with Rev. Other Rev says, yeah, those are Scorcher Speedy. Laughing out loud at Freaky, I'm just joking. Nikki says, Rob, can I get a smile? I'm going to sleep. Nice big smile. Freaky says, okay, just had to know I'm not too confused. I don't think you are. Nikki says, quick load to review and teddy bear.
This is my new nickname, Review.
Review. Hey, review.
Hi, this is Reviews live stream.
Here's review. Giving a review on.
Ah, let's see. Going on. BD says every time I hear the word emoticon, I think of a sad transformer. Yeah.
Yep.
Mickey says, I'm sorry. That says, not at all, freaky. Oh. All right. Take over the chat. I shall return.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I am going to take over the chat.
Well, there's nothing to report.
Sweet. I'm all over it then.
Yep. I'm taking it over.
I'm doing a good job.
Still nothing. Blank. So from blank, they have.
Sweet. We're still doing a good job.
Yes. If I try and take over the chat, that's me saying I talk too much. Give others a chance. Hey. I think his bladder's getting bigger. Yeah, that's probably true, Dave. You know, when you get 59 or whatever his age is, you know, you start. That's just part of how things go in life.
64. Or wait, no, that was 6'4".
Something like that. You know, incontinence is a serious issue. You should take it serious. Banned. They're also banned. Haha, just kidding. Would you like to see someone banned? Okay. Andy said sorry. Nothing to be sorry about. Nikki Diamond, who's still not yet, but has gone to sleep, is saying good night to me. Good night, Nikki.
There, that is.
Russ says, yeah, I dropped the name. There's too many bears. I guess it's a sloth. Something different to go by. Russ is in his mod skills. Keep it up, bro. Freaking Geek saying, Yaya's one. Some bands play good music. This is absolutely true. Katie saying she's fighting with the boyfriend.
Dump him. Oh, wait. Did I say that out loud? Yeah. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah. Dave's saying Rob's got an old man bladder. You're correct. You know him better than most, Dave. Incontinence in 64. And if you drink 1 liter of Pepsi every, I don't know how many minutes, it just goes right through you. Susan says, haha, Dave. Oh, hey, he's back.
Yep, I heard.
Oh, chat, quit talking about Rob. He's back.
Yeah, old man bladder. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Batman says, thanks for the help, Rev. We got it. Sweet. So tomorrow's a go, 10 o'clock Eastern on Make It Wayne. Live stream. See you guys there.
And hey, Batman, welcome. So you're good to go tomorrow. Right. Bat and Bear are going to try the live stream again tomorrow night. What time would that be, Rocky? Don't ban me, said Susan.
Well, she's never banned me, so I won't let them ban you, Susan.
Then you can open up Batman and Aaron. You can open up with Nirvana. No apology. You don't need to apologize to us. It happens.
Batman says, yes, it's a go tomorrow.
Like,
What time is it
10 Eastern.
in Eastern? So 9 Central?
Mhm.
yep,
Hmm.
8 Mountain, 7 Left Coast.
Will it be recorded?
Well, it will, but will it be on playback?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at because the Minecraft one, Tuesdays and Thursday nights are when I want to do my streaming there. And that's what I've been doing lately. And it's been at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Well, I'm looking at my subscriptions right now, and the one they did tonight is in my subscription. So
Okay.
Well,
as long as they don't change settings, it should be.
yeah.
Then I can go back and watch it afterward. All right. Ricky says, just made sure I hit the bell so when Batman goes live, I'll maybe get notified.
Maybe.
So did you tell? Well, I shouldn't say
I
did you tell. Does Batman's going to do that? Put a notice up early like you do so notifications go out?
Yeah, but that's not when the bell gets rung. It's not until he actually goes live, then the bell rings.
Okay.
But YouTube's been very wonky about that lately.
Mhm.
So, like my video that went out on Monday, nobody watched that one. So,
I did.
well, yeah, Charles did. He even asked, like, when we got on the live stream, he's like, "Was I the only one that watched that video today?" Like, apparently, YouTube's being all wonky. But I've been hearing that from like gigantic channels too. They've been having the same kind of problem. They go live and people don't get the notifications. People are hitting them up. Usually I've seen a lot of people saying, I only found it because I was on Twitter and saw that you put a link up that you had a new video out. But yeah, hitting the bell is the best way for anyone that goes live. Um, I don't recommend it for every person that you actually subscribe to, or else you're going to get notifications all day long. But the ones that actually go live, I always hit the bell on those guys.
Yeah, I've only got like 4 or 5 people that I get notified for. Batman says, yes, I hope so. Not sure about settings, but the test recorded. Cool. Ricky says, sometimes the bell don't get a red circle till an hour later. Sometimes that's too late.
Yep.
And Russ says, I did too. There's a
Yeah,
few people that I'll actually get an email about it, letting me know that it happened.
I haven't got an email notification in years from YouTube about anything. Well, I mean, I get some emails from them, but not I like back in the day. If you had the bell clicked, you would get like a notification. You would get an email. You would get notifications on YouTube. You get all this stuff. But lately, no, I just get a notification on YouTube.
He says that email is more reliable. So let me ask you a question. When you go to somebody's video and you post a comment, and they take and post a comment back, do you get any kind of notice on that they did that?
Yeah, you get a notification. I
Okay,
don't get
I don't
email, but
get
I
those.
get a notification with the little bell up top.
The only notifications I get up there is when somebody leaves a comment on my video.
If someone leaves a comment that I like, we'll just use JT Bear for an example. If I leave a comment on his video and somebody else leaves a comment on my comment on his video, I'll get a notification for that.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
anybody that I have the bell checked for that I'm subscribed to, if they like go live or put out a video, I'll get a notification on that bell too.
and see, I go and I leave comments on everybody's videos, and you know, people are used to seeing my name out there. But if they make a comment, I don't have any kind of notification. So I have to go back through the list, reload the video again to see if somebody left a comment for me.
I don't do that. I go to my dashboard and then I go down to community because that's like all the comments on your own videos.
Right, but I'm on their responses on their videos that I left a comment to for them.
Yeah, you should get a notification for that.
I
Because
don't.
again, I'll use JT Bear as an example. I watch his video, leave a comment. I'll get a comment like the next morning from him.
Yeah, I'd like to find out where that notice is because I get no nothing.
And Freaky said you'll get notifications if you have your settings set to get emails. Mine was set to get emails, but I set that up, I don't know, 7 years ago, something like that. So maybe they automatically changed them when they made new changes to the system, which they do all the time.
Yeah, in my messages, I own my earliest one is 4 months ago. If I
And
go community and then messages.
I got a notification that Crazy Kimberlyn uploaded a video. I got a notification that JT Bear uploaded a video. I got a notification that Alex from Alberta Pepper commented back to me on his video.
Yeah, see, I don't get any of those.
Yeah, here's a comment back from JT Bear on a comment that I left on his yesterday. Yeah, here's one. Someone liked your comment. It used to say who liked your comment, but that someone, I believe, is JT Bear on the comment that I left on his video. But now for like just the last like 2 or 3 days, for some reason it switched from like JT Bear likes your comment. Now it just says someone liked your comment, leaving you up in the air. You don't know who it is. Yeah, here's a comment where someone replied to somebody else commenting on one of my videos. That's the same kind of thing, I think.
Okay, I found it under community and then comments, not messages. Under comments, I'm scrolling down here and I do see replies from uh, different people from their videos. So how come it isn't notifying me that when those come in?
Undo them and then redo them. If that's an option that you can check, uncheck it and then check it again. Because I've noticed that with just subscriptions in general. Like well, again, we'll use he's not here, so we'll just talk about JT Bear the whole time. But I noticed that I wouldn't get notifications on my subscription page that he put out videos. And I fell like behind on a bunch of his videos because I never got them in my subscription. So I had to go to his page, unsubscribe to him, and then resubscribe to him. And whenever I did that, bang, everything started working perfect then. And Paula said a new Arrow Garden update is posted now. Let's see if everything died after last week's fiasco. I wouldn't call it a fiasco, but downward turn. Yeah, that's what she commented later. Yeah, last week things took a bad turn. Jared said I'm set up so I get 0 notifications. My phone was going crazy between YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram notifications, so I turned them all off. Yeah. I've turned a lot of those. I don't have Facebook, but well, I guess technically I do, but I haven't been there, and I've been there twice in 5 years or whatever. But Freaky says I never use cell phone, just PC. For the most part, that's what I use, but I do have notifications on my phone, but like whoever was saying it, usually it's like half-hour delay, and by the time I actually look at my phone, that's probably another half hour or hour. And Paula's the same way. Zero notifications, only text messages on her phone.
Yeah, but what you were saying a few minutes ago, that stupid someone liked your post or whatever, that's dumb.
I believe that's that heart thing. Like how you can like heart a comment, which is what I do every time someone leaves a comment, especially when it's a nasty comment, and I like to give them a nasty comment back. I always make sure I heart their comment because I love your comment. That wasn't even right.
So the thumbs up means you like it, thumbs down means he doesn't like it, and heart means you love them.
Oh, then I love all the comments then.
No, I just made that up. I was asking.
And yes, Dave, that was the only time in the last like 5 years that I snuck onto Facebook was to like his page. Otherwise, you don't catch me on Facebook at all. Well, nobody on here is going to catch me on Facebook at all, but yeah, I think my page is private. I don't know. I haven't been there in 5 years. Who knows? Might not be by now.
All I know is I still have pictures from 5 or 6 years ago from what I posted on Facebook. That if you ever put up my name or whatever, it'll come out.
Yeah, well, I was about to just ditch Facebook altogether because most of the pictures that I had were on other people's Facebook. And I don't know what's wrong with certain people, but they like, well, I get it, I guess. But like my ex-girlfriend, there was a bunch of pictures of me and her together. And then when we broke, or I don't know, when she decided to sleep with someone else, she decided to remove all those pictures. So now all those pictures, which actually weren't bad of me, are now like off the internet. So that's why I was like, maybe I should just delete Facebook. Like I don't have anything on my Facebook.
All right.
Like, why would you do that though? I get it if you're like, oh, that person sucks, but you can't just like get rid of that. I guess you can get rid of that memory if you really want to, right? Out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that. Oh, that was the funniest part. No, so yeah, there was pictures of me and her on my Facebook and on her Facebook. She deleted all the ones off of her Facebook and then flagged all mine, so all of my pictures got removed, even though it was on my own account. So I have like 2 pictures of my dog or something like that on my entire Facebook. Even though there was like hundreds of pictures.
That's the only thing I put on my Facebook was a picture of my dog. And that's why I was like, well, this Facebook is boring. Heck with it. I'm not gonna get into this and got out of it.
Well, that's my Instagram. I only have 2 posts. Both of them are my dog. I should follow Paula's thing and like post pictures of my plants, but
I'm mad that one more month. That's what I'm taking my plants out. One more month.
and Jared said you always heart my comments on your videos. Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And Russ wants to know, Charles, was that a cell block door closing?
No, that is my patio. Well, sliding door to my patio.
That's funny though. Once he said that, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that. What's up, Space City Peppers? And you already answered that part.
I did.
He's putting all his veggie seeds out. I'm still planting veggie seeds. Well, Well, yeah, I guess I am still planting pepper seeds, but no, I meant veggies too.
Jared says, I love Facebook, but I mostly just post my hobby stuff. I try not to put anything too personal on there. I like to clown on there too. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would do that too, but the only people that follow me are my family, and they do not care about my YouTube whatsoever. So I just decided, heck with that. I have better luck with strangers on YouTube than with my family.
Jillian showed up finally for the last half hour or so of the stream, and I'm just teasing Julian.
What's up, Julian?
Space says, have you guys considered having topics to talk about each show, like the GoTube Roundtable does? No.
No, that would be organization, and I believe we're all against that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically total freeform. That way we can follow along with the chat and go where the chat leads us. And sometimes we veer off into our own areas, but yeah, it's just a
So,
big
in
conversation between all of us.
And then when one of us leaves, we talk about each other.
Yeah,
exactly.
they talk about me every time I get up. I hear them.
But that's a good idea. So if you would like some kind of roundtable type discussion, just come up with questions, ask them in the chat, and then we'll talk about them.
Yep.
Yeah, says I think your show would do really well if you so choose to take that route. Yeah, but then it's not us. Uh, and like Rev says, yeah, ask questions, direct the chat that way. BD says, Rob, did you ever plant more seeds after the frost cold update you posted in your shop? I have a bunch planted, but they're all at home, but nowhere near what I had there. I spent some time waiting to find out if I got some farmland or not, and found out I got some, but now I don't know how much. So kind of hard. But I've been planting more and more as time goes on here. I just planted like 6 more the other night. And I know compared to you guys, that's not a lot, but for me it is. Julian says, been working on the honeydew list. Well, that doesn't sound like much fun. It could be though.
Yeah.
And Freaky's back, and Russ says, haha, Charles. Freaky says, hello, Space, what's GrowTube Roundtable? Okay. Other Rob says, I'm back, I was still listening, but had to do a few things. Yeah, sure you were. Of course I'm kidding. Freaky says, sometimes I wonder if I'm lucky to never have a honeydew list. I always have a to-do list in my head, but it's not a honeydew list because there ain't no honey around.
I usually have a list that's never completed.
Oh, it's never completed.
Yeah.
Space says, at Freaky, just search GrowTube Roundtable and you will come up under Crazy Dago. It's a real show that's based on other vegetation.
They're gonna
Huh?
they're gonna read it in the chat anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess. Okay, so cannabis, but we could use, or it could be used for peppers too. Yeah, we had that discussion last week. Anything that can be used for peppers or other grows can be used for cannabis as well. So, and says, well, the format of it. Vicky says, good to know, Space, thank you. And so last night I had an interesting dinner. You know, one of my goals is to be able to do the Buffalo Wild Wings Blazing Challenge. So I made up a dozen wings last night and made up a special sauce of my hot franks, about 3/4 that, and then a quarter of it the blazing sauce. Ate through the entire bowl, licked the bowl, and thought that's not hot at all. So next one I'll go half and half and see how that goes.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that works. I mean, you got to build up your tolerance.
Yeah. Jared says, I always start working on my to-do list and get sidetracked by other stuff and don't get finished. And then by the time you get halfway down the list, you discover something else that you got to put on the list. So the list grows as fast as you get it done.
Right.
And Figgy says, Jared, that sounds normal. Russ says, nice. Do you record it? Might be talking to Space City Peppers.
Yeah, I've got a honeydew list. It's made by Peppa Pig.
Okay.
They says, should just munch down on a few ghost pods or scorpions and you'll build up your tolerance.
Absolutely, that'll do it.
Well, Space City Peppers probably doesn't know that I have a huge scorpion pepper plant in my shop. And I have scorpion pepper powder here. I could do that. But it's pretty intense. I want to build up slow. After that chocolate bootla, oh, that thing hurt. Rocky says, I love the blazing wings, Rob. I have a recipe that's exactly like their sauce. I actually bought a bottle of their sauce. But yeah, I bet you could, Rocky, I bet you could go in and do the challenge without thinking about it. I mean, Russ did it, and he said they were hot, but he got through it in more than enough time.
How many wings again?
Huh?
How many wings is it again?
12 wings in 6 minutes.
Okay.
Rocky says, I read that one. Julian says, got my first bag of seeds. I've been inspired. Anaheim, bells, jalapeno, and cucumber. Cool.
That's cool.
Cucumber will grow really quick and really big.
And really big, yeah.
Make sure you trellis them.
Dad says, I went outside one day last summer to pressure wash my driveway and ended up building a greenhouse instead. Yep, honeydew list is never done. Faye says, there you go. Scorpion a day will keep the challenge at bay. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't eat a scorpion a day, though. Those things are just way too hot.
Yeah, you could. Sure you could. Start
I'd
off.
be in pain all day.
Well, no, you start off, you just do like a sliver here, a sliver there, like a half a quarter of it for lunch, another sliver there, here, a quarter for dinner. Next thing you know, you got the whole thing down. You keep doing that over and over again. Next thing you know, you'll just go in there and eat a whole pod right off the bat.
I have a 2-ounce bottle of scorpion pepper powder here. I could put that in a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Freaky says, I like those types of plan changes, Jared. Other Rob says, gateway peppers. Yeah, Bohemian Goat, Emily Scotch Bonnets, those are gateway peppers. Almost. Ricky says, oh, just noticed Rev's chocolate company. He moved. I don't think Phoebe is chocolate. I think she's red. Space says, quarter the pepper up, so by the end of the day, you'll have the whole thing eaten. Those things are hot. Really hot.
Yeah, but not after you eat one for like a week.
Well, this much is true. Fiki says, there are gates in a shape of a pepper. Where at? I didn't see that. Oh, gateway pepper. Oh, I gotcha. Space says, it's how I build tolerance up. Although anything spicy, I break out in hiccups. I haven't gotten the hiccups yet.
Yeah, I've never gotten the hiccups. But to build my tolerance up, I did that Allegheny City Farms hot sauce. I put that on every single thing for about 2 weeks straight. And then habaneros had no heat to them whatsoever.
I get the hiccups almost every time. Doesn't matter. Get the hiccups. You saw that.
Yeah, last Monday where you were hiccuping.
Then started shaking. Then my ears started to pop. Yeah, it was just that was a good little pepper. Or half of one.
Jared says, Rev, your dog looks annoyed with you. You are ignoring her. No.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm busy with something else.
Other Rob says, I had 2 chocolate habaneros, 2 white Thai, and a 7-pot bubble gum with my dinner tonight. Okay. That's a bit much, but yeah. Freaky says, looks brown to me, but then I'm kind of colorblind.
From a
And
dog?
I get hiccups from black pepper. Yeah. And
Nah,
somebody
she's
said you're a brown family member or whatever.
nah, she's red. I'm partially colorblind too, though. So hey, colorblind group. Woo!
It says, we have an awesome hot sauce down here in Texas called Julio's Hot Sauce, and it's refrigerated, hands down best fresh salsa ever. Have you ever tried that, Charles?
No, gotta try my salsa.
Other app says she's just jealous of Peppa Pig.
No, actually, the wind's blowing pretty good here, and every time anything happens out there, she's looking out the window like, "What's going on out there?" Happy. That tail beating that couch.
Freaky says if the sauce has to be refrigerated, how can it be hot?
It
Yeah,
can
groan,
eat as much
groan,
as you
groan.
can.
There's a
Something,
couple vendors. I know when I went to the Texas Hot Sauce Festival, there's a couple of vendors that had refrigerated salsas. One of them had I don't know, it's an avocado or green salsa. I mean, that thing was so damn good. That was good. That one did it was. But it's out, well, close to Tomball out here, but it was really good. I have to look that up.
but yeah, those wings last night were really good. Let's see. Space says at Charles, Heb has it. It's backed by the cream cheese, butter, etc. On top shelf, it's $2.98. Promise you'd like it. It's like fresh Mexican restaurant salsa. And
Hmm.
Katie says, got 2 batches of peppers fermenting since December 9th. Cool.
Ooh.
Uh, one is called Death. Other app says, sounds hot. He says, seeds to grow, Katie.
Hope you're done fighting with your boyfriend, Katie. Just remember, guys are difficult, and they're one-track minds.
Jared says, Rev, my pit bull is being super needy and annoying tonight. He is on top of me right now. And if I push him off, he just starts whining nonstop, laughing out loud. At least yours is behaving.
She's always pretty much behaving, but I
Unless
don't
somebody comes in
tolerate
the
any
door.
crap with her either. Like when she does anything that I don't like, I let her know. And I don't know, she's such a loyal dog that she hates that I'm disappointed in her. So I mean, she was the easiest dog to potty train. Like she maybe peed in the house twice, and I just express, my disappointment in her, and her ears would go down, her tail would go down, and next thing you know, she never did it again.
Oh, hey Matt. So the one I tried that I think is hands down one of the best. I know this is bought at the grocery store, but it's called the Pain Train. That's the name of the company. It's from Tomball, Texas, and in the creamy avocado. So if you ever go and see Pain Train, and then the creamy avocado is fresh because it's got to be refrigerated. But good lord, that's some good stuff. But yeah, he has the roasted red sauce as well. It's all fresh. It has to be refrigerated. But yeah, the Pain Train if you're in this area.
Russ is asking, have you tried Sadie's Space? Okay. Brittany says, I love fermenting. Salsa is hard to wait though. I got a cycle new, so I always have some. Yeah. Paint train and creamy avocado at what restaurant?
It's not at a restaurant. It's a local guy. He makes it. So you got to find out where he's. It's not at a restaurant. The company.
Russ says, haha, Rev, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Katie says, Freaky, I got a crap ton mostly given to me, but it was too much. Jared says, Rev, I let mine know when I'm annoyed with him too, and he gives me the F you look, haha. He doesn't care.
Mine cares way too much.
Space says, found it. Oh, snap. Okay, cool. Freaky says, better to have too much than not enough. I agree. Other Rob says, I've never tried making fermented sauce. I haven't really had any either that I know of. Katie says, exactly, laughing out loud.
Get the which one is it?
I've had a couple that are fermented.
Well,
No,
if we want to get.
well, I thought it was the Harvest Edition Allegheny City Farms, but no, it's the regular edition Allegheny City Farms, which, by the way, they're sold out. But if you get that, that's a fermented sauce. It's also a vinegar-based sauce. It's kind of runny. I like it because it just goes good on food and everything. But I know people like their thick sauces or, vinegar-based sauces or not. But that's a fermented sauce.
Yeah, I
The
was just
Harvest
going to.
Edition is not. It's fresh pepper mash.
I was just gonna say what Jared just said. It says, "Other Rob, you've had Tabasco sauce, haven't you? Because Tabasco is a fermented sauce."
And I do not like Tabasco. Do not like it at all.
I like it. It just has no heat.
I like it, but it's so runny. I don't like how runny it is. I like my sauces thicker.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like all sauces really, but the runnier ones, I like them too. I like to cook with them. Like throw them on top of some chicken and cook it. It tends to just, go right into the meat.
Matt, I've already talked to the guy. $8 a pound for reapers. That's how much he's willing to give. I talked to all of them. That's what the going price is. But they would get $8 a pound, which is 50 to 60 reapers. So no.
Other Rob says, "Yeah, I didn't know that was fermented." Yeah, there's YouTube videos on how Tabasco sauce is made, and they'll walk you through it. Discovery Channel has had a full video on the factory too, or a full documentary. Let's see. BD says, I can't wait to make some sauces. I got some recipes already too. Jillian says, they say Tabasco is 100% or 100K Scoville. No.
I don't think so.
No, I thought it was only
100K would
about
be
1,000.
that's habanero level, and Tabasco sauce hasn't had heat to me for like 2 years.
Tabasco came out with a bunch of new sauces, and I think one of them is a ghost pepper one.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. Yeah, there we say.
And it sold out in like, I think 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes. It was quick. Not too many people actually got that one.
Katie says I fermented the peppers whole with onions, garlic, carrots, etc., and then grind it and add as much brine as I can to make it a bit more runny. Freaky says brine. That's uh, salt, right? Well, brine is a salt water mix, or it could be vinegar and salt, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, usually salt. Katie says, and I always add whole peppercorns in my sauces. Jared says, if I'm going to eat a mild hot sauce, I prefer a cayenne-based sauce over the Tabasco. I like the flavor better. Yeah, mild like Frank's until you add some ahi lemon drop to it. Katie says it's salt and water. Yep. Tricky says dyslexic fingers of all things. Okay, Space says $8 a pound. LOL. That's about the cost of water spent watering them. I'm growing 6 Reaper plants and think I'll have tons left. Want to make strawberry Reaper jelly and use rest for pepper spray. Okay. Katie says, haha, know what you meant. Jimmy says, oh nice. Space says for the garden. Okay, pepper spray for the garden. That makes more sense. Jimmy and
Put it in a bottle and spray it in somebody that's attacking you's eyes. I'm sure that'll work too.
Jillian says that stuff sounds so good. I like. Other Rob says I like Reaper powder. Scott says good night, everyone. So Mr. Scott's taking off. So good night, Scott.
Good night, Scott.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. And speaking of taking off, 12-minute marker. I know you're gonna say 11 minutes, but
No, mine says 12. But no, yeah, brine is salt and water.
Yeah.
And it's used for a ton of things. It's used for brining things, vegetables and stuff. It's used for water treatment as well.
Yep. Just don't use iodized salt when you make a brine for fermenting.
Well, usually you're supposed to use rock salt, but why not iodized?
The iodized changes the flavor.
But I said this a bunch of live streams ago. They around here at least, I don't know, I can't speak for everywhere, but around here, our salt used to be iodized, which means that they added iodine to it, and then they took it out. Just regular old table salt did not have iodine in it for years, like 10 years. And just this year, I went and bought more salt, and it says with iodine in it.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, here we can get it both ways.
Well, you know why they put iodine in the salt in the first place, right?
Yeah, it's to prevent the
Cold War. It was the threat of nuclear bombs going off, and iodine floods your thyroid gland, which is kind of like a vacuum cleaner, which sucks up all kind of crap that's in the environment, including radiation. But if you have iodine and an overinfluxation of iodine into your system, it floods your thyroid so that you can't take up any radiation if it actually occurred in the environment. So during the Cold War, they added iodine to the salt. So in case Russia nuked us, then you wouldn't actually get radiation poisoning, not at the blast zone, but far away. And that's why it was in there. And then apparently they just took it out like mid 2000s and it was just gone. And now it's back. So I don't know if they think there's a threat from the Cold War again, or if they were like, oh, whoopsie, we've been forgetting to put iodine in the salt, or what it was. But I see that it's back now.
I always heard it so you didn't get gout.
What's that?
That's what I heard. Did they get gout? You know, swelling of the legs and such. I don't know. Like, your story sounds better.
It could be. I don't know. That's just what I heard. I never thought enough to actually, use the Google machine and look it up. But
let's catch up here. Space says, Charles, how much was a bottle of salsa from Pain Train? $5-7. Bernie looks like he took off.
It was salsa, so it was in a little tub, a little jar. I think it was right around $7-8.
Katie says, and injecting meat
Goiters,
for marinating.
so that's what I meant. Goiters. I guess that's cow, huh? I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Other app says, let's see, whoever it was, better find 5 friends that thumbs down too. I think that's the rule. So yeah, Russ says who gave the thumbs down.
It's been there since the beginning.
Russ says no, the stream did. Okay, Space City says iodine is a critical micro nutrient in the human diet. That is something our bodies can't synthesize that we have to rely on food to obtain, and it's been added to salt in the form of potassium iodine. Originally, iodization was adopted to reduce the incidence of goiter um, or an enlargement of the thyroid gland. Iodine is very beneficial, controls metabolic rate, maintains optimal energy levels, helps prevent certain kinds of cancers, removes toxic chemicals, blood immunity, forms healthy and shiny skin, prevents enlarged thyroid gland. So yeah, Freaky
Yeah,
says
because it sucks up or it overloads the thyroid gland. So like I said, the thyroid is like a giant vacuum cleaner, just sucks up everything in the environment. So it makes sense.
Freaky says I've cut as much salt out of my diet as I could 20 years ago.
I did that too, and I'm back on the salt thing. I put tons of salt in my stuff anymore because I heard that it causes high blood pressure, and it doesn't. If you have high blood pressure, it can contribute to high blood pressure. But as far as I've heard, that it does not. That was salt, right? I know the cholesterol thing where they said cholesterol's bad for you. That was like a lie that the sugar companies came out with to hide the fact that people were, becoming unhealthy and everything. They blamed it on salt or on cholesterol, but here it was sugar the whole time. I believe it was what kind of sugar? Unsaturated sugar or no, not unsaturated. What the heck? I don't remember. I don't know. I listen to way too much Joe Rogan. There's too many scientists and stuff he has on. They blow my mind every time they come on and say things that I've heard my entire life. Like eggs are bad for you. And then you find out, no, eggs are so good for you. You can eat as many as you want. Like you look at Weight Watchers and apparently they have points and eggs have 0 points. So apparently, according to Weight Watchers, you can eat as many eggs as you want in a day. I'm sure that's within reason, but they don't count towards the points of how much food you eat in a day. And they don't differentiate. Again, I heard it on Rogan. I didn't look it up, but apparently they don't differentiate between the yolks or the whites. It's just eggs in general.
Mm-hmm. Jared says I only use kosher salt. I'm probably not getting any iodine in my diet. Laughing out loud. I mainly use kosher salt myself, but I make sure I throw a little bit of regular salt in every once in a while.
I'm a big fan of sea salt.
I like Himalayan sea salt.
Yeah, I like Himalayan rock salt too.
Yeah, rock salt.
Yeah.
Russ, do you ever eat out? Because if you eat out, you eat iodized salt.
Oh yeah.
And Russ is salt licking. I take a kelp supplement for iodine, says Paula. And Russ says, Jared, there's not iodine in kosher salt. No, there is no iodine in kosher salt.
Or sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, I believe.
Yeah, you are correct.
But they add it to iodinized salt.
Yeah, they added the table salt.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I find I crave salt, I get salt and vinegar chips. There's Freaky Susan says, I wonder how much iodine is in Cheetos. I have no idea.
Why don't you look up how much sodium is in one helping of General Tso's chicken at a Chinese restaurant? I'm serious. I'm not joking. Just go look at that. How many
Um,
milligrams are in there?
I'm afraid to.
Huh?
I'm afraid to.
Oh,
It's probably a lot. I
Ricky
think
says, Susan, just by part of the name, cheat, they probably have lots. And Susan says, I like the puffy ones. They aren't bad for you. It's like eating air. Paula says, I don't like puffy ones. Jared says, I eat eggs half a dozen at a time, and my total cholesterol is right at 100. I eat 4 eggs at a time when I eat them. Russ says, I eat out a lot. Haha, Charles. Paula says, my chickens laid 11 eggs today. Cool. Russ says, I've been using kosher salt and everything. It tastes so much better.
2,327 milligrams
holy
per serving.
cow. Wow.
Just an FYI, General Tso's chicken is great, but yeah, if you're trying to watch your sodium intake, probably not the best dish.
Other Rob says, eggs are great with salt.
Absolutely. And pepper.
Kiki says, an over AC fever grub sweet. Okay, Jared says, my chickens laid about 3 dozen eggs today. Cool. Jay says, at Charles, we have a huge salt mine in Hockley. It's right past the outlet mall on the left. My dad's grandpa worked there. The great grandfather on your father's side.
Not too far away.
It says, eggs are great with chili powder too. Yes, they are. Other Rob says, the same thing. Yes, they are, Paula. Brittany says, I just ordered 25 Rhode Island red chickens. I'm new to the chicken game. Russ says, MSG equals yum.
Ugh, no, I don't like MSG. Monosodium glutamate. Wait,
modified corn.
the last. I'd never thought of that. Glutamate's the last part of it. Are people with celiac disease? Can they not eat MSG?
I could eat MSG with no issues. I had celiac disease for 4 years.
My mom's allergic to MSG.
Yep, so is my sister. Sodium glutamate is a modified potato starch. Flavor enhancer.
Yeah, not to mess with MSG.
Yeah. Paula says, you're going to be swimming in eggs. Bernie, I have 14 hens and a rooster. Edie says, yeah, every time I eat Chinese food, I am so thirsty. I drink 2 times as much water afterwards. Well, Chinese people use soy salt or soy sauce as their salting agent because it's so salty.
But it also has soy. It's an estrogen mimicker. Feminized men and hyper-feminized women.
And it also contains wheat if you're lactose or gluten intolerant. Other Rob says, those are pretty birds, Bernie. Creaky says, MSG is that not close to GMOs? No. It's a modified corn or potato starch.
It's monosodium glutamate. In case I sounded like I said modified sodium glutamate.
Yeah. Julian says extra salt, extra oil, extra sugar, and MSG. That's that line from Kramer on Seinfeld, wasn't it? When he was telling Jerry to order Chinese food for delivery. Paul says, mine are all different breeds. I like a variety. Katie says, stir fry.
Stir fry.
Oh, stir. Okay.
Yeah, stir fry is awesome. It's kind of like the fajitas, but of the Chinese world.
All right. We're past 11 o'clock here, so we need to close this out pretty quick. Jared says, I have about 175 chickens. Brittany says, I grew up with those chickens. As a kit plus, they can be used as meat birds as well as layers.
I
Susan
get
says, well, that's a ton of chickens. Other Rob says, my friends up the road have 30 to 40 chickens. Nice jump, Charles. They have several heritage breeds. I used to work with a lady that had 130,000 chickens. That was her main business, and she just worked there part time for the fun of it. Um, Anthony says, doesn't MSG have some side effects? To some people, it does. All right. Always love chatting. Good night, guys. Susan's saying good night, guys.
Good
All right.
night.
later,
So we should close this thing out.
later, Susie. Later, Susan.
Later, Susan, Bernie, Ricky, Rob, Rocky, Jared, Buzz, Gabe, Paula, Anthony, the whole crew.
Did you say Katie?
I did.
You got Rocky in there too?
Ricky,
Rocky.
Rocky, Bernie,
Okay.
Rob, Anthony.
And Jared said, Rev, I have celiacs and I can eat MSG even though I don't. I have to eat gluten free and I have for 8 years. Well, I was just mentioning because it's monosodium glutamate, and I was thinking glutamate. I don't know if that would be close enough to gluten, which gluten is like wheat, so that doesn't really make sense. But
You can get gluten from barley, oats, wheat, and rye.
oh wait, no, I remember the story. That's why they came up with MSG. It was the Japanese came up with the MSG during World War II to prolong their food because they added MSG to it, and it would delay the decay of the food for like a little while. And that's where they started putting that into their food, and then later they just started adding it just into everything.
Yeah, the side effect of that was it's a flavor enhancer.
Appreciate that, Rush. Always a pleasure having you here too.
Yeah, nice 270 donation. Cool. Alrighty, guys, let's close this out. I got stuff I got to do yet today. And I got to be up in the morning.
Me too.
Yeah, so I will go first this Wednesday. How's that? So Rob Z, most people on here already know who I am. Now that I have my YouTube channel and PLC login and Google Plus as Rob Space Z, so ROBB Space Z. And yeah, make a bunch of videos. Posted one today. Once the summer comes around, it'll be more often and more of them. And I also have a second channel where I play Minecraft, and that's Yankee Ace 50. And I also do, or have been doing Twitch streaming. I got a couple up on Twitch right now under the same Yankee Ace 50 for Minecraft. I saved the last two up there. So yeah, if you're interested, you can go and watch. So that's it for me.
Real quick, Susan said, yeah, and the Japanese, because of the MSG, yeah, and Japanese people live a long time. It's a quote from a movie. It was National Lampoon's Seven or Favorite Deadly Sins, and the chick said, I forget which place she actually cited, but it was a place in Russia, and she's like, you know why they live the longest? They drink vodka every day, they eat yogurt every day, and they pee the second they have to. This is my favorite quote. But anyway, Charles, I hear you have a channel.
I do. Charles P. Well, Charles Space P. On YouTube. Just like and subscribe. Have a bunch of videos up. I will have more videos as well in the upcoming months. This I'm kind of limited. I usually just do once a week. I did two of them this week, but I have a few sauces available still. It's on the Pepper Lovers Marketplace. We'll be here Friday for the big unveiling. Tomorrow, make sure that you tune in to the Bat and Bear Show, 10 p.m. Eastern. I got all the kinks worked out, so it's going live tomorrow. So that's pretty much about it. And I may have a barking dog channel soon, too.
Eh,
See how much my dog can bark and growl.
it happens. I got a snoring dog over here.
Well, I have a snoring dog, but this one's impatient due to the fact that he's not supposed to be playing, and he wants to play really, really bad.
He's not allowed.
I know it's hard to keep this dog down
Can't keep him down.
then. That's about it.
All right. Well, as for me, you know me. You're on my channel, so click that subscribe button. Do all that fun, happy social media stuff. Well, in the chat or in the aftermath. If you're watching it afterwards, leave a comment and we'll get back to you sometime, or catch us on another live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and yeah, that's it. All right.
Alrighty, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
See you later.
See y'all later, man. We were live. It was great. You guys had fun. So did we. Now we're not live. So later on, we'll catch you on Friday.
All right, see you Friday.